Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh, God.
Chubs gone wild.
Well, hello and welcome back. We are back after a beautiful 2-week break, just so that Tom can get some R&R and he can, go see some fabulous shows that I'm sure he'll tell us about. And I could, well, basically, I just sat here and watched some TV. So, that was
All
my
right, R&R.
that was my favorite. Actually, I did get to see a couple movies, but we'll talk about that later. Hey, it's Chubbs Gone Wild, episode 589, recorded on Tuesday, May 5th, 2025, where it is 85 degrees in sunny in Chubland, I think, sunny-ish. It is 179 days till Halloween and 234 days until Christmas. It's just ticking down. I mean, I feel like I need to start getting my trees ready again.
I know I'm already getting my stuff set for Maui in November. So,
Ooh, that's gonna be fun. All right. Well, happy Cinco de Mayo.
yeah.
What are you doing for it? Anything?
We are going to have Mexican food and margaritas.
That sounds really awesome. As I told you earlier, I don't really do anything, but I made some fries in my air fryer, and they came out really good. And so that's what I'm going to do today. Hey, I celebrated. Uh,
Okay.
Actually, I'll get on Grinder and see if there's a nice Latino man that needs some attention. No, no, that's not me. I don't do that. All right, well, it is time to find out what is today's affirmation. Monday, May 5th. People respect me and are very appreciative of everything I do. Maybe 90%. I don't know. Of course, I only know like 10 people, so 90%, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but those 90% aren't the people you know. So,
Well, they're the ones that I know on the periphery. All right, well, let's talk about Patreon real quick. Um, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like my Life in Fragments podcast, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ, Sausage from the Universe. And we have Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brother Sinatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Moose P. Well, please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can contribute to our wonderful projects and we can, well, basically give you stuff. That's pretty awesome. For $1 a month, that's pretty awesome. All right. Today in history, in 1868, Martha Jones of Amelia County, Virginia, is believed to be the first Black woman to receive a U.S. patent for inventing a machine that husks and shells corn in just one procedure. That's pretty damn interesting. The patent number 77494, granted to Jones 3 years after the Civil War, for her improvement to the corn husker slash sheller, was for a device that pulled off and cut up the corn husk and stripped the kernels off the cob, all at the same time, a key technological step in automating agricultural process. And that's pretty damn cool. Awesome. Well, let's see if we celebrate any holidays. Did you celebrate Cinco de Mayo? Oh, wait, I think we just talked about that. How about, are you aware of the Great Lakes?
Yeah, I flew over them.
Oh, then you've celebrated. Okay, hug a shed and take a selfie.
No, but what's funny was uh, I was watching. We just got a new shed that Sean built by himself, pretty much. It was, I mean, it's like a 8 by 6, and he built it out of a box by himself. I was really impressed.
Wow.
I mean, I helped hold a couple things, but for the most of it, he did it all. And so but somebody had posted a picture online on Facebook, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's the shed. I mean, it wasn't our shed, but somebody else had the same shed. So that was,
Huh.
so I kind of had a shed moment in the last 24 hours.
Well, that's pretty cool. We have a shed that Mom bought. She kind of bought it for me for, I don't know, something. Um, and we paid to have it put together. There were two guys out there that did it because I wasn't gonna figure all that out.
Is it like a sex shed?
No, no, it's the shed of the forgotten shit that used to go outside. So yeah. Hey, it's International Midwives Day.
No,
I have not practiced my midwifery today. Let's see. Museum lovers. I do love museums. Nail Day. Have you been nailed today? I mean, celebrated with nails or anything?
no. Well, actually, because I've got these little scabs, and they're very itchy, but I got to be careful. I can't use my nails.
You don't dig it all out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so so I can't have nail day.
Mhm. How about National Cartoonists Day? I assume
Um,
cartoon day.
yeah, so
Yeah. National Enchilada Day.
that's what I'm having for dinner.
All right. Hoagie Day. Uh,
Hoagie
I
Day
would have
falls on the Hoagie Day cannot fall on Cinco de Mayo. That's just wrong.
no, no, that's let's see, it's National Meeting Planners Appreciation Day. I appreciate meeting planners. I just don't want to go to their damn meetings. Um,
Well, what
uh,
if it's catered?
Depends. Is it going to be like normal catered for normal food, or is it going to be that, like, oh, here, would you like an amuse-bouche? Yeah.
Well, I think it would be, like they have food available.
Would you like a petit foie? Anyway, I'm still bitter. 20 years and I'm still bitter. Let's see. It's National Silence the Shame Day. I have a few shames I'd like to silence. Mm,
Oh,
mm. I mean, not in a like violent way or anything, but just
oh, that's what it sounds like.
what I would do. It's Revenge of the Fifth.
Boo.
Yeah. Square Root Day. Nope, no, thank you. And Totally Chipotle Day. Oh God. Oh, and I skipped. It's also Oyster Day. Do you like raw oysters?
No,
Yeah,
I'll eat cooked oysters, but I don't like them raw.
I don't mind cooked oysters, but no, no, and no.
Well, it looks too much like well, it just looks too much like that.
Not
It's
because
well,
let me tell you, when I saw them, I was like, oh, frick, no. Mm-mm.
but the shell makes it look like the lady part too. So
Oh, goodness. Okay. Sorry, Kim Beaver. Let's see. Let's happy birthday to Kathy.
Kathy.
A different Kathy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
And
sorry.
Lane. Happy birthday to Philip, Mr. Rod Lindley, the famous actor. We have author Dean French, or Fresh, yes. And upcoming happy birthday to Stacy, Stephanie, Janet, Richard, Matt, Alex, Melissa, Curtis. That's Mr. Actor Curtis, who we worked with many productions. Well, at least half of the many productions, if you know what I mean. Then there was we have Christian, Robbie Sloan. Oh my goodness, it's that Vera Charles. She's getting another year older. Happy birthday to Bill. Mr. Patrick Walsh of the, oh my goodness, I'm gonna script the horror. He has a horror podcast, horror movie podcast. It's wonderful, but I'm gonna script the name. So Jerry, Eli, Johnny, Alice, Steve from Scotland. Steve from Scotland. Oh, happy birthday, Steve. Guess what? You're always going to be older than me. Just saying. Also, happy birthday to Cleaver, AJ, Mr. Zach, who is out there having a relationship with Mr. Daniel Brewer. He's his his
Jesus, talk, girl.
yeah, partner. That's the word I was looking for. Mr. Zach and yeah, Pride 48 Daniel Brua. And then also to Jude, who was the wonderful guitarist that we got to work with in Hedwig. All right.
Well, there's some other birthdays.
Yes, we are now going to go into the let's see here, a list of 54 birthdays that we missed over the past 10 days. Beginning with, no, I'm totally kidding. I would not do that. But we wish everybody a happy birthday. But today is my stepmother Paula's birthday. And so I have to give her a big shout out. She'll never hear it. She doesn't even know how to tune in, turn on any of that stuff. But happy birthday to her. I hope that she's having a really good birthday because she's had a rough time of it lately. And also, well, last month we failed to say happy birthday to someone very important to the show and who also is very loud to the show, Mr. Nephi. Mr. Nephi, he had a birthday and we neglected to point it out. And I won't even go into the fact that he turns off his Facebook notifications so that, you know, or whatever. Fact is, we faux pod and we apologize.
I wished him a happy birthday.
Well, on the show,
No, that's your
his
job.
problem.
That's your job, girl.
Was pissed because he wasn't pissed, but anyway, he was a little hurt that we didn't mention it on the show. So to make it up to him, we will be mentioning it as he is now 52. We will be mentioning it on the next 52 episodes of the show. Happy birthday, Nephi. We love you. All right. So we did get a little feedback.
Okay, so
yes.
There's still other birthdays.
Oh, okay. I missed something then.
Well, no, these are like famous people. Like Henry Cavill.
Oh my.
He's 42 today.
Do I get to blow out his candle? I mean, is he gonna blow out candles?
But the one that got me was today is Tina Yothers' birthday.
Wow.
Want to guess how old Tina Yothers, the youngest child of the Family Ties, is? Well, actually, they had the other kid too. So, but
57.
No, she's 52.
52. Okay, so she was a little younger than me. Huh?
Yeah, it's so weird when famous people have birthdays, but then you go, oh yeah, and then you go, oh my God, I didn't realize that they can't be that old. It's like out of the Brady's, I'm in between Jan and Bobby,
right.
And it makes me feel very old, especially when Greg's now in his 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
Tina Yothers, I remember when she had her band and she dyed her hair black after the show and everything. It was kind of crazy. But I always thought she was kind of cool. All right. Well, with that aside, we do have a little bit of feedback. Mr. Sean wrote in and said, pretty sure my first non-cat slash dog pet was a hamster. Don't remember much about it. Was kind of fun watching it run around in this little hamster wheel. Yes, as it looked for the way out. Help, I'm trapped. I'm trapped and people stare at me. Ah. Thankfully, I never had hamsters or anything like that because I would have been a big mess when they, you know what. Uh, anyway,
Pooped.
well, probably that too. I've been like, it's a baby. No, kidding. Um, so we do have some chub hugs that we want to send out, starting with Mr. Steve and Jake, some local boys who just hitched up and got married. It was very spur of the moment on their anniversary, but yeah, so they've been together many years. Happy marriage to that. And then,
Ew, that was to that.
well, you know me and marriage, there's like five that I think are good, and the rest, whatever. Anyway, DJ Stossage, he is still healing from having a detached retina and having to go
Ooh.
through surgeries for it and spending like a week laying face down on the table because of it, which may have made his husband happy, but I don't know. But yeah, and also to Brother Sinatus, who sent me a very sweet card. Thank you for the poetry book that we sent out as part of our Patreon stuff. Everybody got a free poetry book, and I just really appreciated that, and it touched me, and thank you. All right, you got any?
Yeah, to anybody that has to fly 13 hours
Oh,
from Istanbul to LAX, the worst part of my trip, honestly, 13 hours. And it wasn't the bitch in front of me had her chair back the whole time,
uh,
including when we took off. And it's supposed, you're supposed to put your seats up. And
hmm.
when you eat, you're supposed to put your seat down. And finally, about 2 hours when we got our second meal, that's how many, they feed us twice.
uh,
During the second meal, she goes, "Can you move your chair up? You're not giving the person behind you any room at all." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to find you and beat you outside of this plane." Um, and then there was one person that she was really mean. She came in and she was pissed that there was no room in the thing, the above her to
Oh,
put her.
yeah.
And it's like she goes, "My seat number's on here. This is my place to put my luggage. No other people." And it's like, well, fuck you, bitch. You know. So the three of us in off to the side get one, and you get a whole one to yourself. Fuck you.
Mhm.
And it just, oh god, it was just so long, and it just took forever. Oh my god. And it did. I
Yeah.
watched 4 movies, and it didn't help.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that does not sound interesting to me. They now there's some planes, not American planes, of course, that have it where you can just like they have a little compartment
Ew.
where you can just take a nap
Just
and
shook up.
do all sorts of things like that,
The scab just fell.
They have beds and
Lucky.
stuff. Yeah.
Wait, now what are you talking about?
I was saying that there are some flights, non-American flights, of course, where they have like beds, not just bed
Oh
compartments, but
yeah.
like
Yeah.
full bed areas and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those will cost you.
Yeah. All right. Where are we? Okay, so in the news, let's talk about some news. President Trump said in a social media post the other day that he is renaming Veterans Day, which should be celebrated on November 11th as Victory Day for World War One. And May 8th will now be known as Victory Day for World War Two.
May 8th.
I believe that well,
No, that was June 6th
yeah.
was V-Day, and then VJ Day was in August.
Well, here's the thing. I actually went and tried to source this. It is news from news outlets, but who knows how true it is. But, he doesn't
Well,
have a
he's going to
century,
be the
so
new pope, you know.
I saw that, and he was holding up his finger like he was very proud of a booger that he picked or something. Yeah. So anyway, hey, guess what? He also said that he's going to make movies made in foreign countries pay 100% tariffs as he ramps up his trade disputes with nations around the world. He said America's movie industry is dying a fast death, and he blamed a concerted effort by other countries that offer incentives to attract filmmakers and studios, which he described as a national security threat. It is, in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. We want movies made in America again. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, movie tickets are going to go to $40 a piece if it's not made in America, I guess. America. He is directing the Bureau of Prisons together with the Department of Justice and all those other places to reopen the substantially enlarged and rebuilt Alcatraz to house America's most ruthless and violent offenders. He's probably having it redone so when, he's done with his term.
Well, no, he's just, he probably just watched Escape from Alcatraz and said, "Hey, we should, open that." Because remember when he was talking about how people were being kidnapped and tied up, and he was describing a movie he just saw,
Oh,
like it was a
yeah.
documentary when it was not a documentary. He's just a dick, dumb shit.
All right. Well, and now it is time for, sadly, quite a few celebrity deaths.
Well, first we had Wink Martindale,
Mhm.
game show host, Tic Tac Doe, Gambit, and High Rollers, as well as many others. I mean, I swear he was the guy, and it was funny. He was the guy that did all the game shows at a time where it was insulting to do a game show, and now
Mhm.
everybody wants a game show. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, Patrick Diarte.
Hmm.
He's an actor and dancer on Broadway and in Hollywood, as well as on television. He died April 10th in Los Angeles. He was 82.
Yeah,
Pope,
he was one of the characters on MASH, and
yeah,
that didn't come through. Sorry.
yeah. Well, and when you see him, you go, "Hey, he's the little guy from MASH." I remember him well. Um, let's see, Pope Francis. He was 88. Um, he was like the pope that gave everybody a lot of hope, and that's one thing. I'm not a big religious person, but that pope character, whoever gets to play the pope,
Hmm.
is very influential. Remember the guy before him? He was
Oh yeah,
a Hitler Youth in his early days.
yeah.
Nice. Priscilla Pointer, she died. Her credits included Carrie, Dallas, um, the Nightmare at Elm Street 3, my favorite one, Dream Warriors, and Blue Velvet. She passed away at 100. Good for her.
Oh,
Jill Sobel, a singer and songwriter whose hit "I Kissed a Girl" was a groundbreaking queer-themed tune on the pop charts. She died earlier last week in Minneapolis house fire. That's terrible.
yeah. It really was.
One of the great comedians of her time, Ruth Buzzy, died last week. For those who are too young, Ruth Buzzy was the Gilda Radner of
Mhm.
laughing. She could play any part. And what I loved about her over because you had Joan Worley, you had Goldie Hawn. Ruth Buzzy would play ugly for a laugh. And not a
Yeah.
lot of actresses, actors will do that, and she did, and she did it well, and she was working for years, many, many years.
Yeah.
Um,
We just watched a kid show with her.
yeah. Well, she did. She was on Sesame Street too.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Let's see. Jim Mongo McMichael, American professional football player and professional wrestler. Guess that's where the Mongo comes in.
Mhm.
Died of ALS. Terrible, terrible, terrible. At 67 years old. And finally, Mike Peters, frontman of the 80s group The Alarm, died at the age of 66.
Yeah, that's sad. I really liked them. Well, and now Tom wants to tell you about his several weeks.
Well, uh, firstly, start off with Matlock. Did you ever get to finish the finale?
I just finished episode 11.
Okay, so that's a no.
No.
But the finales, um, well, the finale sets you up for the second season. So
Okay.
that's all I'll tell you. And it was quite revealing. Let's see, on American Idol, we're down to the top. I think it's 8. I'm not caught up yet. I'm trying, but every one of their shows is fucking 2 hours long. So that with commercials edited out, it's still an hour and a half. So we'll catch up, but probably not before it's over. On Drag Race, just in case I'm not sure where we were at that point. Anya Nerve ended up winning Drag Race season 17, and starting this Friday on Paramount Plus will be the All Stars season 10. So back we go. Keeping up with the drag queens.
Yeah.
On Top Chef this week, they did Restaurant Wars, and it was one of them obviously was going to win, and the other was obviously going to lose. It was just a matter of who's going home. That's so that was. I always like Restaurant Wars.
Yeah, me too.
It's always one of the. It's kind of like the Snatch Game of Top Chef. Let's see, Masked Singer. This over the last few weeks, they got rid of Paparazzi, and they got rid of, and that was Matthew Lawrence, so I guess was Joey Lawrence's little brother, and then the monster. I think it was even no, he wasn't a monster. Whoever it was, they got rid of Edwin McCain. He's the one that's saying, I'll be your crying shoulder. I'll be love suicide. I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, I loved him. So he's out. We finished up the Connors series finale, and the Connors will always be, one step behind everybody else because they get shit on all the time. So, but then they tried to end it the first time when it was Roseanne with the winning all the money, and that doesn't work either. So
yeah,
finished up The Residence, which was great fun. That's the Uza Abuda Aduba her.
okay.
That's it's funny Miss Marple-y kind of who done it at the White House. So that was fun. Lone Antarctic, Alone Arctic, where they were in the Arctic Circle. William ended up winning that. We're done with that. Then on the Righteous Gemstones, everything ended happy. Everybody's happy at the end, so that was nice. But that series is over now. On Survivor, so I know you're not watching it yet, but Chrissy, she went and talked to all the wrong people behind. She's like, it'd be like, okay, I really think that we need to get rid of Clint because Clint is going to take this whole thing. We got to get rid of Clint right now. And of course, you're going to run to Clint going, hey, Tom's trying to get rid of you. Right? She just would go, she didn't know relationships enough to know who not to talk to. So she's out. So that was funny. And then David, he's a stunt guy, and he's like totally built, and he's kind of a pain in the ass. Well, he's gone too. So that was good. Get rid of these people who are trying to control things too much.
Hmm.
Then I started Andor, and I'm not really happy with it. We started Adolescence, which is that Netflix series about the kid who kills one of his schoolmates. And we watched the first episode, and it's like, first of all, the camera's falling. It's like a 53-minute one shot of this kid getting arrested, and they go down to and they scenes, they're passing off people to different places. Next scene starts here. It's really well made, but we at the end we're going, okay, well, he killed that girl. We can see it. They've got closed circuit TV, and then we look, and I'm thinking, was it just one episode? And it's like there's still like 6 more episodes, so I'm not sure what's happening there. That was really weird. But okay, so on the plane I watched, and I don't have them all, but I did watch Transformers 1, which is the animated one that just came out.
Oh.
It turns out it is a origin story of the whole Transformers. So it was at the beginning, I'm not loving it, but by the end of it, I'm like, oh, that was really good. Bad Boys, that's the new one they have with Will Smith and Matthew Lawrence, or Martin Lawrence. Oh my God, is they? I know it's this. You've got to kind of stay in the same format because it's been 30 years, but it felt like this thing was so. It was, everything was obvious. It was just rehashing for cash. That's all it felt like. And not that it was terrible, but it was like there was nothing new or exciting about it either. I rewatched Twisters, Chicago. I watched Gladiator 2. Ugh, terrible.
Yeah, and that's really made me unhappy because
How did they get the sharks in there?
Well, see, now that
And
they
how is it?
actually did used to do, I don't know about sharks. Okay,
How is it watertight? And how did they get boats in there?
I understand.
How deep is that?
They
It's got to
did
be deep
actually
enough.
used to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have any idea.
I don't know how they would have been able to get that watertight to keep water in there.
Not like that. Not with the ships and stuff.
Right.
But how do you get a cast that damn good and fuck it up?
Well, the storyline wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't. Or I don't know if they edited it weird or what the hell they did, but
So I did rewatch Chicago, and then I started watching Sonic 3, and then we didn't. The plane was landing, so I didn't get to finish it. So when we came home, we watched it, and what a pile of shit that is. Of course, Sonic 3 is meant for 8-year-olds, so that's probably the reason. I did see Wolfman, which is the Julia Gardner one, where it's Universal, where they're reinventing all of the old classics. Like they did The Invisible Man a few years ago, which was fantastic. This one, not so fantastic. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great, and it was obvious. I had guessed it before anything even fucking happened. So basically, I went to New York, and the first night we got there, we went to see Drag the musical, which is off Broadway, or it was. It closed this last week, the week after we saw it. Starred Alaska Thunderfuck, and then it was Jujubee was in it, and Lex London was in it. A lot of drag queen, royalty. It was a really fun show. I mean, seriously, to me, we had a show that played here for years called Diners, Dragnets, Drags, and whatever it was. A show that played locally, and I never saw that, but this is what I pictured. This is how much fun it probably was for the audiences. It was just really good. I was shocked. We did see Mateo Lane's friend Nick. He was in the audience when we were there, so that was kind of fun. But it was a cool theater that had 5 different stages, just the way we always wanted to build a place that would hold multiple stages, that like
Hmm?
in a large building where we could have all these different groups could come in and rent spaces and be performing all the time. They had Heather's the musical was there as well, and there's some bubble show. I don't know what the fuck the bubble show was, but there was a bubble, but there were all these different stages. It was really cool.
And it had 5 different stages too.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah, and 3 of them were running that night.
Wow.
And our show is a kind of a rock show. It's got a like a rock band, so
Mhm.
it didn't bleed over or any. I don't. I'm fascinated by it. Let's see. Second night we went to go see Death Becomes Her,
Mhm.
and I know that you just reviewed that on Matinee Minutia.
Mhm.
But what I loved about the musical was the first number is the the Michelle Williams character, which she was playing the woman who has the serum, the that can make you
Wow.
young again, but she was in this. She's more of a predator.
Hmm.
Where in that one it's just like, oh, well, if you're interested, I guess we could look into it. No, she was out. I mean, it was like a commercial, the opening numbers. If you want perfection, and so they had the dancers, and it's like, if you want eternal life, you got to come to me. And so it was a really cool number, and that made more sense to me, was that she was more of a predator. Then she would have, once she realized what Meryl Streep's husband, how good he was with the plastic surgery, even more reason why they wanted him to be a part of that. So
Mhm.
it just to me it just made more sense storyline wise, and it was funny, and the musical numbers were great. It moved well. It was really excellent production. Also, a lot of fun. After that, the next day we saw Smash, which based on the NBC series, they had to totally revamp it. It's now about a group of people making a musical about Marilyn Monroe with some of the original characters, not too many, just the two actual women were the only ones the characters, Ivy and Karen, um, that they used. Otherwise, it was totally different. The writers were different, the director was different, the storyline was different, and but it was, I mean, it was a fine show. It reminded me of Kiss Me Kate, or like White Christmas, where it's about a group of people making a musical, you know, and and in this case, that way, it's like, hey, let's go ahead and do that one number right now, like they do, in White Christmas, when they do okay, we're going to do the choreographer number, and so they do that, even though it really doesn't have anything to do with the movement of the show, if that
Mm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can throw in numbers and just do those numbers and still move a different storyline around. It was interesting. I didn't know how they were going to do it. I can't say I was disappointed, well, except with my seats.
Mhm.
But otherwise, it was fun. That night we saw Maybe Happy Endings with Darren Chris, and Helen J. Shin, I think it is.
Okay.
And this is there's only 4 people in the show. It's about helper robots who find well, when, okay, like when you have let's say you have a cell phone that still works, and but you get a new cell phone, so you get rid of your old cell phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what happens with these robots when people are upgrading, or if they you know, something happens to them or they just don't want the robot anymore. This is what happens to these robots. They get sent to a basically they get their own apartment to take care of until their battery dies.
Mhm.
So and this is about two robots who um, find find themselves. They become not human, but they understand what's going on in their lives. So that it was really a good show. It sounds weird, but it was really quite charming and very very original.
Hmm.
Uh, the next night we saw Cabaret, and that was with um, Orville Peck starring as the MC, and he was I mean, I was shocked how good he was. Just shocked. He he was just so commanding on stage. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I've seen him perform, some country stuff, but he he tore that up. That role. He was really something, and it was kind of fun because I was sitting in the chair, or we're waiting for the show to start, and I start talking to this woman who's next to me, and we start talking, and she's going, "Oh, you're from out of town, okay?" And I said, "Yeah, you know." She goes, "It's weird. I live here and I don't see shows very often. And yet you're here for a few days and you see a ton of shows." And it's like, well, we got to binge. You have the opportunity to see these if you want. I only get a week, to see as many as I can. I can throw in. And she's going, "What have you seen?" I said, "Well, I saw um, uh, Drag off Broadway," and she goes, "Oh, how'd you like that? I've seen that a few times." And I said, "Oh, I really enjoyed it." And she goes, "Yeah, one of my clients is in the show." And I went, "Oh, really? That's really cool." And she goes, "Yeah, Alaska is my client." And oh, actually, my other, I've got other clients. Actually, one's here with me. This is Detox. So Detox is sitting right next to us.
Mhm.
So we got to meet Detox, and it was funny because um, uh, Orville posted pictures, and one of the pictures he posted was after the show with Detox and the agent. So I have a picture of that, and I know that's the night we were there. So that was kind of cool, even though I didn't get to take a picture with Orville. Still. Oh, and what you would have, what one thing you would have liked about a cabaret is, most times when you go into a theater, you go in through a lobby.
Mhm.
Okay, not this one. This one, they took us through a back door, and
Oh.
so and it's all, they've got stuff stored, and it's all covered in plastic, like plastic tarps, and it's eerie lighting, and basically it's like you're going into a 1930s nightclub that you can't really see unless you know how to get there, that type of thing. And
Ah.
so, and you go through this long, weird greenish hallway, and then it leads right into this gorgeous theater in the round, red, um, red velvet theater in the round. It was beautiful. Yeah, and we couldn't take pictures inside, so that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But the set was no set, just basically a stage in the round. So,
Huh.
but it was really 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 good. And then the next night we saw, this was Friday night, we went out and saw comedy because a comedy show we were going to try to get into. We were trying to get into O'Mary, but
Mm.
Cole and the whole cast had just returned, so it was sold out because the Tony nominations were coming out. So it sold out. We weren't able to get in, so we went to see stand up comedy. That was really fun. Except there was one guy, and he was so terrible. You know, uh, there's
Uh,
sometimes is a certain joy in watching somebody's set fail so miserably that you're just like, "Oh my God, this is awful."
eh,
Joyously thinking to yourself, um, kind of like when you watch a really bad movie, and you're like, "Oh my God, how did this ever go?" So, but Yeah. And then the next day we saw Sunset Boulevard with Nicole Sheridan, and the production is crazy good. And yeah, so all it was we did not have any bad shows. Oh, and by the way, I was sitting in Times Square on Tuesday, and the guy who plays Edgar, understudy in Death Becomes Her, walked past me. And I know it was him because I'd been watching a backstage show that they had. And the guy who's in the show, Josh, who's in the show, the guy who played Edgar's understudy, is one of his good friends. So that's why we always focused on him. So he walked past me, and I'm like, oh my God, see, Sean, that was the guy. He's the understudy for Edgar in the show tonight. I wonder if he got called in to do the understudy. He wasn't, but they have to go in anyway. But so I saw him, and then a few seconds later, Pentatonics walks right past us.
Wow.
And so that was really cool. And then when we were seeing Happy Endings, I was talking to Sean, and I said, "Uh-oh." And he goes, "What?" And I go, "Look across the aisle." And it was Pentatonics right across the aisle from us. So we were in like row 8, and they were in 7, both on the aisle type thing. So that was really cool. Those were the only real like stars that we saw, though, outside of on the stage.
Right.
But then that Saturday night we got a plane. We went to Istanbul, where we both got hair rejuvenation.
Really?
Yeah, and it was something. It was really, really something. So the company, you sign up the clinic that you're going through, they pick you up at the airport, they take you the first night to get blood tests, then they take you to your hotel that they're supplying. You have breakfast, then you go to you go back to the clinic, they pick you up, take you back to the clinic. You do your hair thing, and it's weird. The only time it hurt was when they were applying the painkiller, like when you're going to the dentist.
Yeah.
Oh, everything's, once you get your Novocaine, it's fine. But that Novocaine is horrible. Nobody likes having a needle stuck into your mouth. And then they're moving around, puncturing. And they're going into your scalp. And I mean, it hurt both Sean and I. I mean, it was real. That part was really painful. And then I didn't have any pain for 2 days or any. And when I say pain, the pain that I'm having right now is mostly from the scabs pulling on my scalp.
Oh.
When you get like that a scab that's starting to dry up.
And painful.
It dries up just enough that it's irritating. But so we will see. Right now, I look kind of hideous, and I'm wearing my glasses because that way you can't see how swollen my head is. It's a little swollen. Sean didn't have any swelling. I had a little swelling, so mostly around the eyes. But we got back after that horrible 13-hour flight, and I couldn't have been happier. Except when we were in LAX. We were waiting to because we had to go from international to Delta. And so we're in the TSA for the Delta thing. And one of the girls that's working at Delta decided to laugh and point me out in line across the way. Because, oh my God, it's horrible. And she's laughing. Oh my God. Oh, it's so awful. And then someone says something to her like, shut the fuck up. And she went, oh. But she ridiculed me from across the way enough that I knew it. And years and years of trauma flooded back to my back to me for the moment. And then I was over it because I just wanted to get home. And so we got on a plane and flew back from LAX to Sacramento, Ubered home. I haven't left the house since.
Well, I understand. You're still recovering from being so tired and everything.
Well, and then I I honestly at this moment I'm just a little, you know, sensitive about having somebody else say something.
Totally understandable. And of course, you're probably not supposed to like wear any hats or anything like that, right?
Right. And now we can't wear hats. Now I can wear a hat.
Ah, cool. Yeah. No, I totally get it. A lot of people are getting these done, and a lot of, in fact, what was his name? Joe Dromowski or something like that, who's a pretty popular gay comedian. He just had it done. Like, and that's why I was like, were you there at the same time?
Well, Mateo Lane's had it done twice.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
if you can go on, it's funny because once you see what they do and how it's done, and you start looking at people like newscasters, like
Mhm.
actors, sports people, when you start looking at the different people, and you go, okay, he's 60 years old, and he has the hairline of, it's like George Clooney has the hairline of somebody who's 20 years old. Okay, so you can pretty much tell that they've had work done.
Right. Yeah.
And the difference was when we were kids and people would get hair transplants, they would just fill in the area up front that was
Hmm.
missing. They didn't shave the whole head and come back and say, "Oh, um, I was doing a Vietnam War movie, and that's why I had to shave my head." And then you could, at this point you're gone for 2 weeks. Any swelling or any scabs should be gone after
Right.
2 weeks, so you could go get the surgery and then go on vacation to some resort somewhere. If you're movie star, millionaire
Yeah.
type person, you can go do that and kind of hide away and then come back and go, oh yeah, I was filming a show. Oh, okay, and then everyone totally believes you.
Right.
So but the process was really well done. I'm real happy with the results. I just wished it would kick in quicker because I got tickets for Wednesday and I'm gonna have to go in public.
Oh gosh. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you ran into a few other people out and about that have been, there that are doing
Oh,
the
what
same thing.
what one thing that was really funny because after the first day, when you get the stuff done, that night they bandage up your head because you're gonna have some seepage and some bleeding because, like I told you, 4,000 things taken out, 4,000 things put in. So
Yeah,
lots
it's
of
a
little
lot.
cuts. There's going to be some bleeding. So in the morning, I woke up and oh God, my bandages were bloody and I felt gross. And I'm like, I'm not going down to a restaurant in this hotel and sit there with it. And Sean goes, yes, you are. Shut up. What, you think that there's not going to be anybody else in, because the hotel was a hooked up with the hospital, so they took care of people coming in. So go down there and there's a total of 7 different guys with their heads bandages covered in blood. So
Oh gosh.
so it was like, okay, I don't feel bad anymore about that. But it was weird because at the airport we were the only two that we saw hair restoration, but we did see on our plane, we did have 6 nose jobs, 5 women and 1 guy.
Wow.
Because that's it. It's supposed to, what I hear is it's hair restoration and nose jobs in Istanbul.
Yeah.
So it was an adventure, and um, I wouldn't do it. Well, actually, I wouldn't. I didn't have a problem with the actual hair restoration if I could just figure out how to get to Turkey in less than 13 fucking hours.
Oh yeah.
Because we both agreed that was the worst part of the trip was just the flight home.
Huh.
So, um, but if you're on the East Coast, that's gonna that 5 hours, because when we flew from New York to Istanbul, it was only nine hours. So, and that was tolerable because you saw a couple movies, they gave you a couple, they fed you a couple times. But I'll tell you, when we had 5 hours left on the flight, and it had already been 7, 8 hours at that point. We sat on the waiting for the plane to take off the tarmac for an hour. So that was an extra hour on the plane. And I'm thinking 5 hours, I could be flying to Hawaii right now in 5 hours and be so happy. And then I'm looking around at all these people that I hate. I don't know how they don't have more problems on long trips like that. You almost think they should probably give everybody the Xanax or something, just so everybody's just calm and
Yeah.
something. I will definitely demand to get some. They did give us a Xanax before they started doing the surgery,
Mm.
and it was amazing because I'm feeling things and hearing things, and that people shouldn't have to hear or see, and I didn't care.
Oh,
So
that's
that was good.
lovely. I love those. I have something that I can take before I have to go into the dentist so that I can just relax a little bit more. And yeah, those are lovely. But, all right, well, guess what I just did? I just
Pooped.
ordered me some gummies, girl.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's lovely. So, all right, CBD, of course, because that's how I roll. All right. Well, that sounds really adventurous. And yeah, the whole 13-hour flight and stuff, I don't think that's really my speed. But, I'd rather take a 2-week cruise. Well, I don't know these days. Cruising used to be so like dreamy and like something that is just like a fantasy land. And then COVID came, and now you're just like, oh my God, it's a disease
well,
carrier.
remember, the problem with the cruises
Mm,
is, what are you going to do on the ship?
everybody. I mean, everything.
Because that's the one problem I had with the cruise. I enjoyed the Disney one because they had a theater, a movie theater. They always had a show every night in the main stage. Like, we saw Hercules, like an hour version of Hercules.
Hmm.
Really fun, and they controlled the kids. The kids were out of the way. The adults had their own pool, but you had to go to the kids' pool
Mhm.
to get the chicken strips. But other than that, you didn't have to see kids. Um, but when I went on the Alaskan cruise, they wanted you to get off the boat and go look at. Oh, look, here we are in Alaska, and
Here's where the
when you get,
Vikings landed.
but
What?
you go to the place. They pull up on the harbor. They get in there, and then you walk into basically 6 blocks of shit, just tchotchkes. There's no,
Yeah.
you're not seeing anything because there's nothing to see. Most of these places are established little um, shopping centers to
Mm,
get your fill of these different places. So,
yeah.
and I was that part disappointed me. But I want to be entertained on the ship.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the reason of going there. It's like a casino. You don't leave. So
Yeah,
anyway,
because that's usually casino drinking and gambling is all they're really offering, and I don't do either of those on that kind of situation.
yeah. Yeah. Same.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, my week ended, well, a little longer. Um, was quite adventurous in some ways. On Saturday, mom had a fall, and it didn't it scraped her head and hurt her hand, but then it didn't really manifest until like earlier this morning. She took off her glasses, and her eye, especially her one eye, was all black and swollen around it, and she had like indent where you face plant and then your glasses like get shoved into your face, and like where they rest on the nose, it's all bruised up, and so it's just really
And
awful.
that was outside she fell?
Yeah, on the concrete. So, but thankfully she's got a good hard head, and she's doing fine, but it's still one of
Uh,
those things.
I
Um,
mean, that scrape across her head makes me worry about a concussion.
yeah, no, she doesn't have anything like that, but she definitely has a scrape and bruising. So what I'm looking to do is I'm doing kind of trying to do some odd jobs and stuff like that to try to get a little money together to for her birthday's coming up soon. And I want to get her a chair that I found. It's a chair that sits on the ground, and when somebody falls, you kind of get them onto the chair and it lifts them.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and it takes up to a really high weight, and which she's way under that. But it just means it's sturdy. Um, and yeah,
Well,
so that's kind
it
of what
needs
I'm
to
looking to do.
yeah, it needs to prop you up. So
Right.
it
And
needs to
like
be a
it takes a weight up to where like I could get on it if I needed to. If I fell, it would
well,
pick me up.
and I'm using this term because it's the correct term, but dead weight is different
Yes.
from, see,
Yes.
even if you're 120 pounds, 120 pounds of dead weight is a lot heavier than 120 pounds.
Yeah. True.
So
So anyway,
that's the cool thing about it. Yeah.
so that's what I'm looking to do to try to get for her, because that will be a real good thing, because she does tend to, every few weeks she seems to kind of have a fall. So it'd be a good thing to keep on hand. Uh other
Now,
than
does she have a walker?
oh yeah, she uses it all the time. Well,
And is it with one
yeah,
with the where
mostly all the time.
you can sit on it
Uh-huh.
type thing? Yeah, those are great.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're actually looking to get her a new one of those, because this one's starting to get a little, where you
Rickety.
tighten, yeah, where you tighten things, but it doesn't tighten, it just keeps kind of spinning. Yeah. So, anyway, other than that, I've been doing a little bit more writing on an old project, and kind of getting back into things. I resubscribed to WoW, World of Warcraft, and have been enjoying some of their newer content. It's kind of fun. But I did catch up. Well, I just watched a few things, including I got to go to the theater and see Thunderbolts. And it's really fun. Um, I won't say it's like the best of the Avenger movies, of course, but it was really good. The characters were fun. Bob, he was fun. Bill Pullman's son, interestingly enough. And I would highly recommend that if you are one of those people that like hero movies, go see it in the theater. This is almost kind of an anti-hero movie, but still, really good. Then I also got to see Sinners in the theater. And this is one of those cultural type events where you should really go see it in the theater if you have any interest in it. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, but I'm told it's really scary. It's a vampire movie. It's really scary." Well, the vampire stuff is, I mean, I've watched vampire movies that are like hella scary. This is like what was that horrible movie that came out a little bit ago? It was a vampire one, Morbius or something. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
was he a vampire?
Oh, was he? I think he was. Maybe not.
I don't know. Terrible show.
Yeah. Um, so anyway, it was no scarier than that. It wasn't about the scares, but the timing, because it's like 1938 in Missouri or something like that, and there's still people picking cotton. It's a very African American, black focused film. Um, but it's damn good. The cinematography is just excellent. The cast is amazing. Um, there was like they had like four different plots practically that was just pulled down into one movie and they made it work. Um, I can't say enough good stuff about this movie.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah. So it is something I would say go see it before it's out of the theaters. Um, okay, I also am caught up on the 6 episodes that are currently released of Andor. It's fine. It's much better than season one. Um, it's still kind of fresh, so I don't want to say anything that's going to give any major things away for anybody that's going to watch it. But I will just say that I'm really glad that it's better, but it could still pick up the pace just a little bit. So I finished Wheel of Time. This is the third season. They did it again, where they would have, slow episodes, then a couple fast episodes. And here you are with the final episode, all the action's happening. I'm like, oh my God, I want more. Please now, I want more because you're giving me something I want to watch because the rest of it, who gives a frick? Is just yawn. But the last episode was wonderful. It was like really, really good. Okay. Matlock, we talked about. I'm on episode 11. I'm loving it. I love this show. It is so good. And so I'm going to try to finish it this week. Um, Spring Baking Championship. I hate the episode by episode drip. That's just me. I know some people are fine with it. I like the Preya character. I like Preya. Um, Everybody else is just okay, but they sent the Frenchie home, the French guy, I think. He
Yeah,
came.
he went home this
Yeah.
week.
And he seemed like a really nice guy, but he just,
Didn't seem to comprehend the rules.
yeah. And usually the French chefs are the one you're like, uh-oh, watch out. This guy's probably studied, cordon bleu
Well,
and all that. But
yeah,
no,
but that doesn't mean I mean, first of all, it's a runner cake. A runner cake isn't a
yeah,
flat
sheet cake.
sheet cake. I mean, that was he made basically the old Costco sheet cake.
Mm-hmm.
And a runner cake should be it should be like, let's
Thin and
say,
long.
3 by 9, 3 by 9,
Yeah.
not 4 by 4.
Yep.
Just bad.
Yeah. So I was anyway, I'm fine with everything on the show. It's just it's not holding my attention as much as it usually does. But I'm
Well,
still watching a holiday baking show at night.
yeah, I'm bored with the like the worst one was the kids one that was just out, kids championship. Oh, they
Yeah.
had a kids one, and it was everything had to do with animals. So everything, it's like they did a zoo one, they did a forest one, and so it's like, okay, you're making a beaver cake, you're making a squirrel cake. I'm like,
Huh. Sorry, Kim
I
Beaver.
miss just making interesting desserts.
Uh-huh.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
the actually the holiday baking championship that I've been watching. The season that I was just watching, they were kind of doing the same thing where they kept having these themes that were just like it's the same kind of theme over and over and during this season. It's like, oh, we're making pies again. Okay, but these are going to be a different kind of pie. And then the twists. I get so annoyed with the twist because you're like somebody is going to do really well and then you throw this weird ass twist like, okay, now you have to, incorporate a piece of garbage into your dessert. And you're like,
or you're making pedophores, and we want you to use garlic.
yeah, exactly.
No, no, I
That's
don't want to do
awful.
that.
Same. I don't. I mean, I appreciate that they want to do a twist or something like that, but make it something that's not gonna like just be like, yeah, this is gonna suck. Let's the judges stuck on raw garlic. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's also the thing is, when we're watching these things, it makes us excited to want to make this stuff, and I don't want
Uh-huh.
to make any of this stuff. It was funny because we watched one with the one with the it was either the uh, carrot cake, or was it cheesecake, carrot cake cheesecake. Remember they had to
I
do that a
think so. Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then Sean had actually watched that one, and so everywhere we were going in New York and then Istanbul, he had to find cheesecakes or carrot cake somewhere, and I'm like,
Oh,
I need to make a carrot cake. That's because I wasn't
yeah.
happy with anything that we kept getting. It's
That
always
I have.
dry. But that's the thing, that the show for the most part isn't inspiring me to want to bake.
Right. Exactly. And that's like there were some apple pies. I have a bunch of apples and a crust that I've been kind of thinking of dinking with, and it didn't inspire me at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Watch some more episodes of Lake Seven. Really fun 1970s sci-fi British show. If you are into kind of spacey, it was them trying to kind of do a low budgety Star Trekky type thing, or maybe a Space 1999 type thing, because it's at least a step up from that though. But it's fun. It's on Amazon. Um, I watched all the Good Witch movies again because I just needed a nice calming atmosphere among all the things going on. And of course, Matinee Minutia, you can go check out the latest episode that is out, which is Come Back, Mrs. Noah, a really fun sci-fi British comedy. High comedy. It's more of a comedy than sci-fi. And then, of course, as Tom mentioned earlier, we just recorded the Death Becomes Her. And I just rewatched the film and I kept thinking, I've seen that film so many times. I'll just be able to talk about it off the top of my head. But I started to rewatch it right before the recording and I was like, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Oh, wow, that's actually really funny. That's pretty good. But I don't remember that. So go watch it again.
And I want to mention that um, right now is, first of all, it's a huge success on Broadway. They've already announced that 2026 there will be a national tour that'll be starting of the show too. So you'll
That's
get
great.
so hopefully you'll get a chance to see it when it comes to town.
Yeah, and now I'll be able to. I know what I'll have to get Nephi for Christmas.
There you
So
go.
yeah. Okay. Let's get into the advice. This advice question came in. I'm a gay man in my 30s, and I've been dating someone I truly love. We've been together for almost a year, and I've always known he has a sexually adventurous past. That never really bothered me. Oh, there, look, I can read it now. Uh, until recently, when he told me that he slept with around 1,000 men. I was shocked. I knew he had a high number of partners, but I never imagined it was so many. Now I can't stop thinking about it. I feel shallow and judgmental for letting it affect me, but the number just won't leave my head. I love him deeply and he's a great partner, but I'm struggling with the idea of building a future with someone whose past I can't seem to get over. Does it make me a bad person if I want to walk away from this? Or am I just being honest with myself?
I think you're being an idiot.
Yeah, same. Is it gay community? Oh, come
St-
on, my friends, sluts, but they're good
s-
people.
Stop trying to judge people on their past.
Yeah.
You know, judge them on who they are right now, and if you let this fester, and you ruin a good situation,
Mhm.
you're going to look back years from now and go, oh, I fucked that one up good.
Yeah, well, 1,000 times. Yeah. No, that's just dumb. Just figure out how to get over it because yeah, that's just dumb. Um, Now if you were straight, it might be a totally different thing because there's this thing called double standard, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
whatever.
and no, even worse, if you're Even a straight guy that
Mm.
slept with 1,000 women, he's a stud. But if you have a straight woman that slept with 1,000 guys, she is a whore and needs to die.
Well, at least you know, the movie needs to be released because there was kind of a movie like that, but there were two women, so they split all the men. All right. Hey Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, have you ever fainted?
I have.
Yeah? What happened?
Well, one time I actually knocked myself out.
Huh?
That's one I remember the most. I know that I've been sick where I've like I'm pretty sure I've just passed out from like
Hmm.
fever or whatever. But one time when I was is fourth or fifth grade, we had um, an oven that was on the wall. It wasn't under the range, so it was like and my mom had the oven door down, and I clotheslined myself with it.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it wasn't, it's not that it was hot. It's just, I started walking. I did not see the door open,
Mhm.
and I just ended up on the ground.
Hmm. Uh, yeah, I have, I, I guess it was a panic attack, I guess, but I woke up out of a sound sleep and my heart was racing and I just felt awful, but it just kept like my heart just kept pounding harder and harder and I could feel it and I just felt like, oh my God, I'm probably having a heart attack. So I went and I knocked on my mom's door and woke her up and told her, I think there's something wrong, I think. And then I just like kind of leaned back against the wall and I went down, I passed out and I came to doing the whole Vulcan thing with the paramedics were there and it was just like it was really freaky. And that's when I learned that I have a panic attack kind of disorder to the point where I will pass out if I get in really, really horrible, horrible situations. So, yeah, thank you for that question. Hey, Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, is convenience worth the cost of privacy? Ooh,
Of course it is.
sometimes.
Well, it is right now.
Yeah,
You want Wi-Fi? Okay. If
yeah.
you want privacy, then get off the Wi-Fi. Get
Privacy costs.
offline. You,
Convenience costs, and right here's where you start paying.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
everything wants your number, they want your email, they want your social media. Every time I go on Facebook, there's ads for things that I've privately talked about with somebody. Come on.
yeah.
It is what
But
it is.
yeah, I mean the thing. It's like when you get to a hotel, and you know that the hotel is an unsecured line,
Mm,
but I'm not gonna do with no Wi-Fi.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know that my privacy is at risk, but that's the world we live in right now.
Right. I just operate under the assumption that it doesn't matter where I am or what I am doing, something is listening or watching or whatever, and I just do my thing. I'm not doing anything that I need to, I'm not plotting a revolution, just
Well,
whatever.
Sean went out to Cat's Deli when we were in New York,
Hmm.
and we were eating in the hotel room. Cat's, big pastrami sandwiches, so good.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm on my iPad, and up comes an ad for Cat's Deli.
Yeah.
So somebody's listening.
Yep. All right. Hey, Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, should freedom have limits? Well, I mean, if you're talking about laws so that we don't hurt each other,
Yeah. So there has to.
and that, but if you're talking about like, some of the shit going on right now, saying, well, if you want to be free, you're gonna have limits because we're gonna watch you and throw you away and all that. Fuck no.
Well, I mean,
What's going on now? No, that's
eh,
not freedom.
yeah. Well, yes, exactly. Freedom. We don't have freedom in the true sense of what freedom is.
Right.
And technically, as a society, you can never do that. You want freedom by yourself. some property in the middle of nowhere and live by yourself. There's your freedom.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
You want freedom? Freedom costs. Right here's where you start paying.
Okay, you're going to keep repeating that?
You know what that's from, of course, right? I mean, you of all people I would know have to know where that's from. But yeah. All right. Let's see. I
What
remember.
wasn't that Fame?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that was Debbie
Debbie
Allen.
Allen.
Yep. Love her. Um, okay. I remember my first time at a gym. Well, I
Okay,
remember my first time
yeah.
at a gym, which was just what, I don't know, 6 years ago, maybe or so. I went with our former friend Mark, and yeah, it was fine. I was nervous. I was sure people were going to be staring and everything, and it was nothing like that. It was just like everybody's doing their thing. They're not paying attention to you a bit. So it was good. I liked it.
Well, I remember it was after high school, and I joined a gym with my friend Mike and his mom, and I went in. It was a family package, so I went in as a brother.
Huh.
So and so we got the package. Mike and I both lost a lot of weight. It was so funny though because there was a Chinese restaurant right next door that we would go and work out, and then we would go get Chinese food. And our motivation to work out, besides the Chinese food, was that there were these two brothers that worked out there that were older than us, but we went to high school, same high school.
Mm.
And I'm not going to give the name, but they were hot, and so we would. It would always they were always around the same time, so we'd always know to go there around the same time, and then we would kind of like stalking, scheming on them, kind of gross things. But that's what you do when you're 18 years old.
Yeah,
And there's a hot guy at the gym.
in the 70s. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep,
Oh,
definitely.
great.
Well,
Now
no,
that
because let's face it, that was a different time with things like that too. And not saying that that was a good thing, just saying that
it was
that's
a different
was
time.
into it. Yeah. Um, yeah. So very cool. That reminds me there when I used to go to Jenny Craig, there was like I don't know if it was a donut shop or there was some sort of like dessert shop or something like right at the end. Like you could just walk out the door, go that way, and there it was. Or no, it was pizza place. That's what it was. I'm sure they had desserts though. All right, hey, what's in your lunchbox? Mr. Moose wrote in and said, "You know what's in my lunchbox? A plate of chicken and asparagus, mild sauce with chicken stock base. This is in an Asian restaurant. Good dish. Feels like it's healthy.
Hmm.
Looks like it.
He loves that white sauce or the clear sauce.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
mean, I do too. But I don't. It's funny. I don't see it a lot, but because he likes to do vegetables and a protein, because he's looking for, he's not looking for noodles and stuff like that. A lot of times, he's looking for some vegetable and some protein. Boom.
yep.
And the white sauce works really well for that. Oh, what's that?
Southern fast food, a tray of pulled pork barbecue and side of okra, slow cooked smoky pork seasoned with hot pepper and vinegar. So delicious.
Looks delicious.
Mhm. Beef and asparagus today at lunch.
Oh my God.
Wow,
That looks so good.
it does.
But see, here it is again. Asparagus, vegetable, and with the protein.
Hmm. Got a Cuban sandwich today. Posted roasted pork, ham, cheese, pickle, and mustard on a grilled bun. So good.
Yeah, those fries look good too.
I like grilled buns.
Oh my God, that looks so good.
Fresh shrimp. Oh, no, fresh fried shrimp and fish for lunch at a local restaurant. Okra is a side dish, and buried under there are a couple of hush puppies. Yeah, that looks absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Moose, for sending all that in.
Oh my God.
Mr. Dave wrote in and said, well, I guess nothing, or at least Trello deleted what was said. But here is a fine meal. Oh, yes, this is a shrimp and rice, probably maybe a gumbo.
Or jambalaya, possibly.
Oh, yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah.
It's a little. See, gumbo would be a little wetter, but
Okay.
jambalaya should be a little drier. So I'm not sure which one it is. It's right there in between, though. Looks good.
Yeah. I was just trying to see if I could find it, but I don't see where the email was. Well, but thank you so much, Dave. And the shrimp looked absolutely wonderful. And then Tom has a little something.
Well, yeah, we there's this place out in Rancho near the Costco, and it's funny because Costco we go to Costco and they've got their food court, so we'd always get a piece of pizza or we'd get a hot dog because it's super cheap. And the Rancho they're converting their old restaurant, well, their cafeteria to something new. And so we'll see, that's going to be opening up at the end of the month. But so we ended up finding this Thai place near it, and they have like a $12 lunch, and you get a protein and whatever style noodle that you want. So I got the drunken noodle, and Sean got I think it was some kind of pad thai. But so much food, you can't finish it. You take half of it home, and but it's a great little restaurant. So we've been there a couple times now, and it's always good. So that's yum.
Yeah, it's called Cha Thai.
Yeah.
Yeah, those plates, that looks just lovely. Okay, well, if you want to see any of these pictures, and you really do, you really, really do, just go over to what's in your lunchbox to facebook.com/chubsgonewild, and you can check out all the photos. And you can find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjed.com. You can find my other projects at justkisstheguy.com. Find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild.
Now you can give us an email.
Mhm.
And with that email, you can do things like show us what your lunch is. You can show us if something exciting is going on in your life.
Cool.
Anything, let us know. Send us an
Yeah.
email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure and like and subscribe. Our subscriptions are a little higher than they were, so that's good.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
And other than that, it's good to be back. And
yeah.
yeah.
All right, and we will catch you next week. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you later on. Bye.
Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.